Come on up. Thanks for being here.
Really
Go ahead and make yourself comfortable. I will try and do the same. I'm always nervous with a tall chair. I'll fall off in front of everyone. Let's hope
I will
not.
take care of you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. That's good service. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about with Sebastien is GEA's transformation and some of the factors that are most important in that transformation. So specifically mindset, customer centricity, and operational efficiency. So before we get into that, Sebastien, can you tell everyone a bit about yourself?
Yeah. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure. And also to be with all of you. Thank you. So my name is Sebastien Garric. I'm 45. I'm married with 3 kids, nice kids also, that I really appreciate. I started my career in a very small company. Its name is Coca-Cola. During 10 years, where I also had different roles, starting from logistics and then moved to production and project management in different plants. So I had also a lot of the chance to know a lot about transformation, organization, production efficiency, and what also agility means. Okay. So then I started in GEA almost 9 years ago. And I'm pretty sure that we have also to explain what GEA is doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are a technical company, and we are also producing line for our customers. What does that mean? Is that we are producing equipment and also solution engineering just to create some production line for different applications, such as in dairy, food, chemical, pharma, and so on. So we've got diverse customer. Okay. So today I'm service director for GEA France and also some activity worldwide. We just to understand also what we are doing in GEA, I think that we have to think about not doing only equipment for equipment or solution for solution, but we've got a social challenge. Okay, we are there also to support our industry, to feed, okay, people, to heal people, and to make also part of the transition in ecology, such as also moving to some transformation and lithium generation and production. Okay, so we are part of this sustainability development.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I had the opportunity to attend GEA's the Global Services Kickoff in Copenhagen in February, and they invited me to speak. And you know, when the gentleman Lucas who reached out to me to speak there, you know, sort of talked to me about why he wanted me to come, it was this idea that, you know, the legacy of the company is very much manufacturing, and how he's really passionate about bringing service into the identity of the business. And this is a really big challenge for organizations that are trying to embrace the potential of service, because when you have this deep, rich legacy as a product manufacturer, that's, you know, rooted in every aspect of the business. And so, you know, you're asking people to really change the way they think and also operate. So let's talk a little bit, before we get into what that means, talk about how you would describe the opportunity that you see for GEA around service.
You have to know that into our development items, service is central. Okay, we do expect that service growth will increase as high also as new sales development, and we do see service as a full potential for customers, because we are producing lines and we are not on a B2B business. Okay, we are B2C business. So that means that we are also following our customer not only as service provider. We are there also as contributor for them. We are there as trainer. They expect from us also to have some improvement opportunity from us. So a production line is made to have a lifetime of more than 17 years. So that means that we need to contribute and collaborate. This is more a partnership business, and the service. Yeah, and the service is key just to follow also our customer production all over those years.
Okay. So can you talk about that fundamental piece, which is the shift in mindset for so many people within the business.
Yeah. So I have the chance also to have one experience from Coca-Cola to be on the customer side. Okay, and this is also really important for me because I know how difficult it is when you are under production, just to manage what will happen in the next 4 hours, 8 hours, or 1 day, or even 1 week. So this is really a stretch on time, okay, and you need also to focus. The point is that when you are in an engineering company, then you have also to think about what will happen in the next 15 years with your equipment. How do you put in place the key points or the key support that will enable your customer just to find a solution for the next 15 years? And you have to mitigate and combine both needs. And this is all about understanding what the customer is requiring. Okay, so you need to be in really close contact with your customer, knowing more their requirements and the technologies than us. And we will not change our DNA completely as an engineering company. This is not what we are willing to do. But we have also to understand how to support and give the support all along the lifetime of the production line. Mm-hmm. And in terms of change, you have to make people understand what are the challenges of your customer in terms of quality, in terms of safety, in terms of production, in terms of yield, in terms of cost, and to adapt yourself. This is really key, just to be able to think about what are your expectations, how, from my experience and my knowledge, how can I support you as well? And how do I need also to improve?
Mm-hmm. So when you think about, you mentioned it as what you're working on is combining your culture with the one that's required for your customers' needs. Yeah. So what do you mean by that?
Customer need, one more time, is really, we need to understand and be on customer side to understand. Understand, this is the main point. And to adapt our internal process, doing better every day, try to develop also the according service product that has also enablers to develop their business. And one more time, this is key about collaboration. We do have to think about what are the goals of our customer. And we need also to fix it, support them, and provide also the right key service product that is enabling to be much more efficient. For example, maybe, can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
We are wondering if it makes sense, for example, just to send one field service engineer across France with 1 day travel to fix one issue during 1 day on one equipment and then to go back. Does it make sense in terms of cost efficiency? Okay. Does the customer has also the right experience, the right knowledge to do it by himself, or do we need to support? And how do we need to support? Do we need to stay, as you mentioned, on the standard service level, such as, traveling by car, fixing screws, and so on, or could we move to a new remote support service? Mm-hmm. And this is where we are and what we are doing. Mm-hmm. And maybe premium info for you is that in our contract in France, we also integrate this remote support into our next contract in the coming days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really experience and really also willing to share with our customer just to propose the best experience and what is the best cost-driven solution. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was something I was thinking about when you mentioned understanding your customers' overall objectives, and you mentioned kind of taking a look at the entire customer life cycle. So there was a gentleman I had on the podcast from Dell, and he gave a really good analogy that hopefully I can explain. So he oversees service, but historically the different functions of service, the call center, field service, were all very siloed. And so what happened is you could have one doing a fantastic job, But from a customer experience standpoint, they were having a poor experience because one silo was succeeding, but it wasn't connected to the others, right? So he used the analogy of think rings, not trophies. So if you think about, this is a sports analogy. So if you have a most valuable player, they get a trophy for being the best player in the game. When you have a team that wins together, so in the US we have the Super Bowl, we have the World Series, the whole team gets a ring, right? So his point is we need to stop focusing on being the best in our particular function or our silo and look more at how are we playing together as a team, because that's what affects the customer experience.
Sure.
And I think that's where your point about how much can we do or should we do remotely are the questions a lot of organizations are asking themselves right now. So we know, again, that the capabilities to do that exist, but how does that fit into your operation? How does that meet the needs of your customers? How willing are they to accept that transformation right now? You know, all of those things are questions that I think a lot of people are sorting through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are already quite mature in terms of service. We do have also some sales engineer dedicated for service, split in our market areas. And they are already visiting the customer. That's why also it's really key, just as you get also the customer voice, just to understand expectation. One more time, different type of industry and different type of application and different type of customer are not expecting the same one, the same needs. Okay, some of them are cost driven, some of them are performance driven, and then we need to understand them thanks to our sales team, and then provide also the according service potential. So the key players are the people that are on the ground. Really, this is key, just to understand what they are also living every day, what are the experience of the field service engineer, also to support them to be provider also future service, because they are also as a voice and what the customer is looking at. Being as well trained as we could to be able to answer to them, and also make the transition and make them also understand what the customer requirements.
So one of the other challenges you and I spoke about is the difference between selling products, which are tangible, and selling service, which is intangible. So what have you found related to that, and how are you enabling your teams to be able to articulate that intangible value?
One more time, this is all about understanding also what we could offer also from our side. When you are also offering one complete installation, for sure you've got some KPIs to achieve, and then the production is running, and you are not part of the journey from the customer side. What we are willing to change into our mind is to be there on the pre-sales phase. Because being at the pre-sales is also enabling to follow the customer journey into their production. Okay, and this is also creating also a change mindset into our internal organization, not being only provider for new installation and then preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, spare part, and so on, but being there to support. One more time, this is all about collaboration, understanding, and making this switch to sell the intangible. That means that we will be upfront to the customer and explaining him just to be confident on us, and use also advanced service product as we could have, such as remote support, but also our technical knowledge. This will be kept into our DNA. We will not change it, but we will use it to better support and use the right tools and advanced tools to be more efficient.
Yeah. We had an interesting conversation at the event in the UK last week about, so when we talk about the move to delivering outcomes, I mentioned in the introduction, customers want peace of mind. And a lot of times we think about that as the combination of the product and the service to make sure that we're delivering what we say we will. So whether that's uptime, what have you. But what we talked about last week is there's a third component to this that I think some people are missing, which is what gives customers that confidence, builds that trust, which is the insight. So customers don't just want, what you say will happen to happen when you say it will happen. They also want the visibility to know that it is happening. So they don't want the intervention. They don't want to have to ask for the service or, but they want the insight of what's happening and when, So I think that's a piece that sometimes companies are missing, and it also helps make that intangible more tangible in the sense of you're showcasing, we may not have been on site, but here is every thing that we've avoided, or here are the things that we did remotely. Here's, so sort of almost like a business review type of thing. Along with, in particular situations, sometimes the data that you're collecting also has use for them as a business, so you can incorporate that as well. So I think that's an interesting distinction. So you mentioned that you were formerly with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
What would you say you learned in that role that's helping you in this role?
One more time, I've been also in production and for a long time. And what is key is also really to understand how it is working. Because in Coca-Cola, we were using some GEA's equipment. So this is part also of the bridge. And I'm still in touch with some of my colleagues that I also really appreciate, because we are really creating links in production. And this is also the key point, and create the link in between what is your experience, what is my own experience that I've lived during my career, just to understand also how it is running on the ground, okay, in detail. What are the focus? What are the expectations? What are the challenging, everyday challenging? Okay, and then this B2B business in Coca-Cola require really strong agility, really strong capacity to react really fast, being a quick decision maker. Mm-hmm. Okay, and one more time, taking decision and risks, but also supporting the teams. In my actual role, I do think this is also really important for me to keep in mind how it is running on a plant. Okay, and every day I'm wondering how do me and my team is serving our customer also in the same manner. How do we need to react fast when there is a production stop in between us and the customer? We need to be there for them. Okay. Find some solution, being problem solver, trying to find the right people to understand. This is how to support, and finding the right way also, sending one engineer or doing by remote. There is a way, and this is a journey, meaning that from my experience, from the customer, and providing also this experience to my team and my organization, is really key, because we know when I've started in GEA and starting to talk about mean time between failure, this is key standard in the production industry, nobody was knowing what was that. And for me, it was also really important just to make this transition in the change mindset in GEA, just to also understand and make my people understand. Okay. You need to know how you support and service your customer. Okay, not only going on site, fixing, going back. No, we need to be there to know what is happening. After one intervention, call. Is everything fine? Collaborating, how to support. What could we propose? Okay, we are a technical company, so our customer are expecting from us some technical solution. So we need to be there on that.
Makes sense. Okay. So if you think about some of the trends I mentioned in the beginning and the journey that you're on, where do you see GEA's business going over the next 3 or so years?
There will be a lot of challenge into this transformation because we are not as mature as we are in all the countries. But we have a really good chance because we've got a full network that is existing, and we've got full of talented people everywhere. And network is key to work as an ecosystem also, internally and externally, just to ensure that we're also providing the solution for the future. Last week I was in Netherlands just to collaborate also with my peers in Netherlands and just to see, okay, how could we combine strengths? Okay? And by doing that, then we will move to another step that will go into digitalization, advanced service product, such as predictive maintenance. That will be as the next step. And one more time also in other tools, such as moving to what we are calling the GEAverse, by being able to use the digitalization to support our customer on their plant and explaining them what they have to fix really in details and what and where.
Okay. A lot of challenges, but a lot of opportunity, right?
Exact. Full of opportunity.
Yeah. And last question is, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned in your time as a leader at GEA?
It is not only in GEA, but I would say that I think that for the service, we should enjoy to solve problems every day with passion. I have a former boss that say, okay, you have to think into production, welcome to problem. And this mindset is really key. Welcome to problem is enabling you to solve problem every day, so you have to support and serve your customer, okay? But you're also learning for you and make the change also on your mindset. And one more time, we are more than a supplier. We are a partner. We are a partner. We are there to train. We are there to improve. We are there to fix. And we are there to support our customer into their journey. So welcome to problem.
Yeah, I like that. I think that when we think about leaders or companies that are succeeding most at innovation, it's that they see those problems as potential, right? So they kind of get past the problem solving, which is the more immediate need, but then look at that problem as an opportunity for, how can we change beyond addressing this in the near term, and how can that lead to innovation? So I think that's really interesting. Welcome to problem. I like it. All right, Sebastien, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah.